Hi guys, I'm Girl Gone Bookish, and finally, after 4 weeks I think, I'm finally getting my stuff together and doing my answers for my question and answer video and my 500 subscriber giveaway. So thank you for all of my subscribers, and I'm sorry. I said I was going to do this on my birthday the 9th that weekend and it just didn't happen. I've been kind of lazy. I've been kind of a slacker and I apologize, but we're getting it done now. So I'm just going to get started with the first question. Hopefully this will be, I think it's going to be a 2-part video. We'll just have to see. And hopefully you won't get too bored and you'll learn something. So my first questions, there are 3 of them. They come from Bunny Kate's. Her first question is, I know you were nervous about starting your channel now that you've been doing it a while. Do you regret starting your channel? I absolutely do not regret it. It was one of the best things that I've ever done. I just had to put myself out there, and I've met a lot of really great people, a lot of interesting people. And this has just filled something in my life that I needed. I needed that connection with other book lovers. Her second question is, what books are you most looking forward to in 2013? There's a couple of series books that are coming out that I would like to, that I'm anxious to read. But one that I'm really looking forward to is Etiquette and Espionage. I always say that wrong. I think that's right though. It just sounded like a really neat book. I believe it's YA. I know it's YA. And it's going to be, I think, a trilogy or something. I don't know a lot about it. Usually I don't know what's coming out in the next year because I'm so busy reading other stuff that I don't have time to look and see when the next book is coming out. So even Harry Potter, I had no clue when those books were coming out. I just waited for it to happen. The third question, oh, I'm sorry, she has 4 questions. Her third question is, how in the hell are you a Kentucky girl with a name like Inga? With such a fancy name, not a Kentucky name. She says, like, I have room to be talking about names. And she asked if it was a family name. It is actually a family name. Inga was my grandmother's name. When I was born, before I was born, my family was talking about what they were going to name me. And my mom wanted to name me Leanne. But my dad, as a joke, said to my grandma one day, oh, and if it's a girl, we're going to name her after you. And my grandma was really excited, so there was no way they could tell her that he was just joking. So I got landed with the name Inga. So yeah, that's how you get that name if you're a Kentucky girl. However, I've kind of grown into that name. I used to want to be called Christy. That was my favorite name. But now that I'm older, you know, I just think Inga fits me. And her 4th question is, what does your hubs think about you YouTubing? For a long time, I didn't want to tell my husband. I don't know why. I was just embarrassed by it. But he is so supportive. He sent me flowers at work. One day after he found out that I was doing this, he bought me a new camera for Christmas and lights, which I still need to get up. He's just really supportive. So I don't know. He's been great about it. Okay, my next question comes from Beth June 327. Her question is, if I could choose a fictional character to be your best friend forever, who would you choose and why? I would choose Daenerys Targaryen because she's just really cool. She has pet dragons. She is fierce. She's just a really cool person, and I think, you know, if somebody pissed you off or hurt you, I think she would fry them with a dragon. How cool would that be? So I would definitely choose her. Okay, the next question comes from, I don't know how to say this name, Latrells? I don't know. It's L, you know what, I'll just put it down here. They ask, are you a fan? Are you part of any fandom or part of anything that you consider nerdy? I am not. I am just not getting into fandom and like fan fiction sort of things. I don't know a lot about it. Don't know a lot of sites. So if you know any good sites for it, let me know. And I'm full of all kinds of nerdy things. I like to knit and crochet. I like to grow plants. I have a bunny. I don't know. I do a lot of nerdy things. I consider myself kind of a nerd. I always have. So I mean, if you just hung out with me for a day, you would know that. And on top of being nerdy, I'm also very clumsy. His next question is, what's your favorite non-book related thing to do? That would just be probably, let's see, non-book related thing. I clean my house a lot. I love to clean. Hang out with my husband, play with my dogs. I don't really have one other specific hobby other than reading. I'm kind of a boring person, guys. Okay, and their next question is same person, and this one is so funny to me. You're walking in a desert, walking along the sand, when all of a sudden you look down and see a tortoise. The tortoise is lying on its back, its belly baking in the sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over. But it can't. Not without your help. But you're not helping. Why aren't you helping? Why is that, Girl Gone Bookish? Are there tortoises in the desert? I don't know. But I would definitely flip it over. I got a little panicked when I read this because I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I not helping? But I would definitely help it. I'm one of those people that stop my car to help the turtle to the other side. And I'm probably going to get run over one day doing that. So I'd definitely help the poor little turtle. He would probably come home with me and be my pet. I would name him Shelby. Book Rock Goddess asks, what is the book you would recommend most and why? That would easily be To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's the only book she ever wrote and it's fabulous. I love that time period. It's moving, it's emotional, it's just really, really good. It's a coming of age story. It's just a great book. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend that book. She also asked, how much fun did you have doing the YT book club? If you didn't know this, several months ago I did the YT book club. I can't even talk. Several months ago I was asked to do the YT book club with Bunny and Brad when they reviewed The Hobbit, which was an amazing book. So I'm glad I got to do it. It was a lot of fun. I was very nervous at first, so I'm glad I got through it, but it was a lot of fun. And I did the after party a month ago, something like that, which is also a lot of fun. If you ever have the chance to do that, definitely take them up on their offer because they're a lot of fun and it's a great way to talk to you guys. Tara Stevens asks, do you like to read YA or adult fiction better? You know, I like a lot of different books from all different sorts of genres. One of my favorite things to do is just to browse around the bookstore and just pick up things that look interesting or sound interesting. I will read anything that you put in front of me, and I'm kind of like that with music. I'm kind of like that with a lot of things in life. I'm not sure if I can decide which one I like to read better. I read a lot of YA, but then I get kind of sick of it, so then I go to I move on to something adult. So really, I don't have one that I prefer over the other. I know that's not really an answer, but that's what I do. Sue Morrow asks, if you could live in a fictional world from a book, which would you choose and why? Easiest question that I've been asked, and that's Harry Potter's world. I would love to live in that world and go to Gringotts Bank and shop on Diagon Alley and go to, school with them, and I don't know. And I have a huge crush on Professor Snape. I don't know why, but I find him incredibly hot. I know that's weird. Angelica M 2009 asks, if you could be a character in any book, what book would it be? I think it would be Harry Potter, definitely, or probably one of the guys in Game of Thrones, but I would want to be like a protected character if I were in Game of Thrones, but I like the setting there a lot. But I would not want to be like Ned Stark. I would want to be somebody that doesn't have to worry about getting killed. Shia510 asks, what's your favorite standalone book, YA or adult? I said this before. If I could recommend any book, it would be To Kill a Mockingbird. That is my favorite book as well. However, I feel like I've been reading so much and there are so many good books out there that I'm going to take this opportunity to name a different one. So I'm going to choose Gerald's Game by Stephen King as my second favorite book. A really good book. I read it in high school for the first time and I just reread it a couple of months ago. Really creepy. Just a great, great book that I would definitely recommend. Christina Jones asks, what's your favorite book series? Harry Potter. Definitely. I feel like I'm a broken record because I keep going back to Kill a Mockingbird and Harry Potter. But definitely Harry Potter is one of my favorite series of books. I also really, really, really love The Monstermologist, and I wish they had continued that series. Liz Alexa 5 asks, what book character would you bring to life and why? I would definitely bring Khal Drogo to life and he would be in love with me. He is just sexy and just rugged, and oh god, I just love him. And in the TV show, oh my gosh, he is just so beautiful, especially when he first sees Daenerys and he rides up on that horse and he's looking all sexy. Oh, I love it. Kayla asks, and I'm not going to try your last name. I'll put it down here who you are. But Kayla asks, what are your top 5 picks, book and movie wise? I'm just going to put them all together. Books and movies. Fried Green Tomatoes. I've never read the book, but the movie is amazing. I love it. The Monstermologist, all those books. Harry Potter, books and movies. What else do I like? This is kind of hard. I love the Twilight movies. I know, but those are definitely, I watch those quite often actually. And, oh, I know, The Other Berlin Girl. Book and movie both are awesome. Cassandra Bricky asked me kind of like, I'm not going to read her whole comment. She said this is actually a comment or a question from her husband. And if we were to meet in person and become friends, you know, other than just on YouTube, would we be able to read each other's books so we don't have to buy so many at a time? And I'm just paraphrasing. I don't like to lend out my books, but to another booktuber, I think I would, because they would probably respect my books and be more careful with them than a normal person. So I would lend you one book and see how that went. That is my final answer on that. No So Tiny Dancer 13 asks, what are your thoughts on Ryan Gosling and James Franco? First, I need to Google them. Please hold. I'm so weird. But Ryan Gosling, I knew the name, but I didn't know what he looked like, so I had to look and see, and he's just meh. I didn't think he used anything special. James Franco is really, really cute when he doesn't smile. When he like looks all broody, and then he's kind of sexy, but once he smiles, it's kind of like, what? You need to shut your mouth.